Game number 2, guys. We have Polt up against Scarlett in the second game, of course, once again with our game hard overlay here at the Rhythmix RSL Group D. Starting to the bottom right, we have our Terran player currently down one map in the series. It is a best of 3. If he loses here, he will go to the losers match where he will face Maxet, and our Zerg player, the Canadian Zerg, starting to the top left of the map, aka Scarlett. She would advance to face Symbol in a ZVZ in the winners match if she's able to win this series against Polt. Let's see what exactly she can do here. Currently we have Aquilon being the map, and we talked a little bit about Aquilon already earlier. It's a smaller map, and a lot of Zerg players will try to be very aggressive here with especially roach attacks. And Scarlett is not really playing this Hyun style too much, where you go for drops. Actually, it's not really the Hyun style, it's more like the TSL style. Symbol, Ragnarok, and other players are really liking the style quite a bit, where you drop the roaches. You can also execute roach attacks on 2 and 3 bases. It's really popular these days. And let's see what Polt can do. The last game that we had, game number 1, was for me personally like really enjoyable because there was just so much action going on the entire time. And both players made individual mistakes that allowed comebacks for the other player over and over again. So a really back and forth game, and that was one of the main reasons why it was very entertaining here. Red actually messaged me after the last game, and he joked a little bit that my observing skills are a little bit lacking now, compared to, let's say, like 2 years ago. And I actually think he's right. I'm not used to observing that much anymore on my own. With Legend at the GSL, it's of course always amazing to have such a dedicated observer. So I'm sorry if we missed something occasionally. I was hoping to catch up with all the drops that Polt was executing. Yeah, but I realized that every now and then I kind of missed one or got a little bit too late to the party. So I apologize for that. I hope that you are happy with the stream so far. Anyways, if you are, make sure that you follow the channel on Twitch. I would highly appreciate that. And also check me out on Twitter at Caldo. Going into the game right now, we have the expansion up for Scarlett, of course, once again. Starting to the top left, we have now the spawning pool being built. And let's see what exactly Polt's idea is for this game. Scarlett with the gas already, and Polt at this point has started with the command center going into the barracks. Command center on the high ground, and usually what we would see from Polt is an early Reaper, but he doesn't have the gas just yet, so it feels like we are not gonna start things with the Reaper for him, trying to rely on Marines first. And with this much of a dedication to the minerals, he of course can now get everything out quite fast, but now immediately going into the double refinery. Scarlett didn't scout just yet what exactly is going on. She's in position with the overlords and will find out that there is a command center on the high ground. That's why we have this overlord pathing as it is. But Polt at least has an SCV now to the top left. The SCV, of course, just him saying, well, I didn't get my Reaper in, so now I have to do something else, and what I'm going to do is send an SCV in so that I at least know what I'm up against. Scarlett didn't scout the orbital command, so she doesn't really know what exactly is happening, but she can already assume, and that's exactly what she does here. The SCV is most likely going to survive, actually. It's gonna be close, though. Here comes the last hit, could go into the bunker now. And that's exactly what happens. Saves the SV here. The bunker is already ready. And let's see what we are gonna have for Scarlett at this point. Scarlett knows, okay, you have the bunker at the front, you're gonna have an expansion already. So she has the information that she needs. The Overlord over here already confirmed a little bit, sees the SV mining. She didn't really see the command center, but she doesn't have to. And Polt is dropping the third as we speak after the factory, whereas Scarlett has now a lot of gas being taken. A lot of gas, actually. Going into 4 gas here right away, not taking the third just yet. Heavy tech here incoming from her. Really interesting to see now if we have double evolution chamber and her preparing for a Roachborn. We could even see a bit of... I don't really think it's gonna happen, but with such a play, we could see her going into a very mutalisk heavy play at the beginning. Like rushing, not really rushing, but like going for the mutalisk a little bit faster. Would be very interesting to see that. But for now, we could still see the Roach Warren. We have the tech to layer, so if she executes a build, it will most likely be +1/+1 with speed, and the third base behind it. Just making sure that she saves with the queens at the front. But it's already a little bit telling that she doesn't have extra queens except for the third. So we don't have a fourth, we don't have a fifth queen. And let's see what the tech choice is going to be. Are we going to see the evolution chambers? So far she's actually like already a little bit late with that. It looks more and more that we might see a spy attack here. We have the double engineering bay already for Polt. We have the Hellions being built. And with the Hellions on the map, Scarlett has to be careful. Like, she needs something here. Polt at some point might be very tempted to sneak those Hellions past the Queens. The creep spread of course helps a lot. And here comes now the third base. But still, the Zerglings here, very good choice. With the Zerglings, she will at least have the safety. And there comes now the spy attack. So, as already assumed without the evolution chamber, we are going to see the airplay here. There was still the potential of her dropping a roach run and trying to go into a roach heavy play. But this is something that she can definitely execute. On 2 bases, mainly with all the gas that she's currently banking up with 700, she will hit a very, very aggressive timing with that Spire. And let's see if Polt is prepared for that. If you go into the Spire play and you get those Mutalisks out this early, then you want to do a bit of damage. So you want to have map control, that's number one. You want to blindside your opponent if possible and do damage. Do damage to the economy. And then just force him back. So it might be something that she can accomplish here, but she also has to have a follow-up plan. The Baneling Nest here is important, Lingmeter Baneling, of course, the composition that she's aiming for. But we don't have any upgrades whatsoever. And at first she wants to dedicate the gas to the Mutalisks, that's completely fine. But then later on, there has to be a little bit of a switch. Polt, as far as I know, did also not scout. So the Spire is here a little bit hidden. He doesn't really know about it, even so, though he scanned, he didn't see the Spire. And now the Mutalisks need to come into play. We have the third base coming up for Polt, already an Overseer being morphed now that the Widowmine has get their shot off. And this is now the point where Polt needs defense. And his Widowmines are not enough. Because he doesn't have a lot in the bases. He does not know what's happening, and Scarlett has 12 Mutalisks on the way. That can do a lot of damage here, as I said earlier. If she's able to blindside him, he will lose a lot of Harvesters. The third is already a little bit exposed. Here comes another scan, but it's at the third base, and those Mutalisks have still not been spotted. At the third, or at the natural, there's a lot of potential damage to be done. There are no missile turrets. He doesn't know, and the Lings are now at the front, and here come the Mutalisks. Oh, Polt. That might now be really dangerous. 1 SCV, 2 SCVs, getting more. The Marines can be targeted immediately. They don't have the combat shield just yet. Marines are gone. The snipe on the Widowmine. Another one being taken out. And Polt completely unaware of what was happening. Scarlett was able to hide the attack for a long time, and he just doesn't have the numbers. 4 Marines, no anti-air whatsoever. The Widowmines are gone. Polt might lose the game here. The scan that he dropped in the main base was not successful. He didn't see the Spire. He did not think this would actually happen. He prepared for a completely different Polt. GG, easy peasy. Scarlett takes the game, goes up against Symbol in the winners match of Group D at the Ritmix RSL.